Kia ora, and welcome to Friday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news the American rich get insulated from legal scrutiny, while the US economic data loses its shine. First in the US, their services sector expanded slower in January than expected, according to the widely watched ISM survey. It is still a good expansion, just with lower new order flows and business activity than they've had over the past 5 months. And the internationally benchmarked S&P market version essentially told the same story, although that one had a faster retreat. We get the US labour market report for January on Saturday. The precursor ADP employment report showed a rise of 183,000 private jobs in January, better than the 150,000 expected. The good momentum was based on customer-facing payrolls. The business services and production sectors actually shrank in the month. Tomorrow's non-farm payrolls are expected to rise by 170,000 in January. Announced job cuts were modest in January. We should perhaps note, though, that as part of the revenge purges of US government agencies, the FBI white-collar crime division has been virtually closed down. Not only are ethics out the door, corporate and financial activities that are illegal won't be investigated by them. Even national security cases are on the back burner. It is open slather. But US initial jobless claims rose slightly more than expected, with 240,000 more claims added last week. Seasonal factors had suggested this level should have fallen slightly. There are now just on 2.25 million people on these benefits, well above the 2.1 million at this time last year. And US mortgage interest rates were little changed last week, although now just shy of 7%. And mortgage applications moved little, still bumping along the low levels that have existed for the past 5 years. And as is usual recently, vehicle sales fell sharply in January from December, but this year the retreat was a bit more pronounced than last year. Prior to that, sales usually rose. Having noted that, they were up 4.9% from January 2024, although the 2025 level is still 4.9% lower than the January 2020 level and just before the pandemic. Later today, the Reserve Bank of India will release the results of its monetary policy review, and it is widely expected to cut rates by either 25 basis points or 50 basis points, maybe to 6%. They have a new governor who is de-emphasising inflation control and re-emphasising growth. He was appointed by Prime Minister Modi for that shift. Currently, inflation is running at 5.2% there, and the 4% goal is no longer a priority. And as widely anticipated, the Bank of England cut its policy rate for a third consecutive time, taking it down to 4.5%. No surprises here, and this time it was a unanimous decision. Australia's merchandise trade surplus fell in December, and November's surplus was revised lower, both to levels less than markets expected. The December result was the smallest trade surplus since last September, as exports rose less than imports. And the pullback on global trading volumes are showing up in container freight rates. They fell another 3% last week with general softness. They're now below year-ago levels, but still 130% higher than pre-pandemic levels. Transatlantic rates outbound from the US are very low. Bulk cargo rates remain very low, still at about the level that prevailed more than 50 years ago. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.44% and up 2 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold will start today at $2,850 an ounce, down $16 from yesterday and its record all-time high. And oil prices are down $1.50 at just on $71 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just on $74.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 56.7 US cents, down 20 basis points from this time yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 20 basis points at 90.3 Australian cents, but against the euro, we're up 10 basis points at just on 54.7 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 67 and down 10 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $96,526 and down 1.4% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest at plus or minus 1.5%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. and we'll do this again on Monday.